All right. This is one of I haven't been making videos in a long time where I show my face well. This is a blur version of me. Um, my testimonies will always be uh, there to kind of put things in perspective, and also as I understand that there'll be a time when I won't be able to make these videos. Um, I uh, I know that these perps obviously don't like the fact that I make videos because regardless if things are not going to change, obviously I know that, but they want me to accept these manipulations. It's never going to happen. I will always call it out for what it is, and I'll always put things in perspective. I'm hearing right now perps that always tell me how, they tell me how I'm gonna be framed, and once I'm being framed, they're gonna, um, I'm gonna be raped and do this. Like, listen, all of that I understand that's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna let you live and escape this fantasy. I knew that all along these people wanted to create this facade that I'm not letting them live, and I'm not letting them fantasize about this creation of who they want to be, but I'm bringing a reality of who they are. Who they are, as you've seen many times and you'll continue to see, is people who've been torturing men, women, and children around the world, frying them, tormenting them, doing horrible things, using obviously this DARPA weaponry, this directed energy, this electronic weapons that is very intelligent, um, community sophisticated to that level of military grade level, and we are just subjects. Regardless of the facade they try to present themselves, this is the BS. It's obvious that this is funded by the government. Is the unlimited resources, the sophisticated of the weaponry, the resources, all of that is obviously DoD ran, DARPA technology, and obviously the strong fingerprint of CIA involved. Knowing that, MK Ultra and all those programs that were in programs created to manipulate people, to control people's minds. So you understand there's multiple entities, but really the entities that cannot be escaped from this is obviously DoD is involved in it, the Department of Defense of this country, and obviously that the technology is DARPA level of technology. Matter of fact, if you go on DARPA website, if you go to the MTO portion of DARPA, you'll see that MTO specifically specialize in also like directed energy and electronic warfare components. So there's no escaping that this is very much governmental led, and DoD specifically. Now, with that being said, uh, I, I I've been around people. Unfortunately, when you're by yourself, company isolation makes it worse. But when you're not isolated, for me at least, the people I'm around are perps. There are people who are involved in this program in a way that they try to create this reality that is falsified. For me, they've been trying to make themselves appear as this radical group of people. It's just a BS. They come in like all kind of people are involved. I think for me, they wanted to see them as something else to counter the reality of the people who put me in here are extremely conservative and extremely influenceable in the government, and I was put in this program, and maybe race was a factor of some sort in me being this program. But once you're in this program, race has nothing to do, gender has nothing to do. These people doing this to me right now, they're not racist. They just do their thing. They do horrible things to black, white people. And matter of fact, black people are doing this to me. White people are doing this to me. Like Hispanic people, like it doesn't matter. I understand that portion. But the people who put me in this program, race was a factor. Now, the people who this perps right now doing these things to me have been trying to create this facade of radicalness, try to pretend they're avenging. Matter of fact, I want to talk about some of the things they did last night because this is my testimonial. They're starting off making me have some sexual dream of some weird nature of like, which also included my sister. That's how nasty he was. They do these things to disturb you, and it was like, certain like kind of like rape-like dreams of some sort, but including my sister. And then I wake up and they're like, you're gonna get raped, and they say, oh, they try to talk about things I've watched on on adult content or something like that. Try to see you like that kind of and the reality is this, these people were trying to come up with try to vilify me. They try to vilify me, but reality always comes back to them. And it's funny, one of the persons like, it's gonna be, you in real world you're gonna get raped. I was like, yes, just like you're raping this woman and people around the world. That's why in the last video you see the face of this woman, which is blurred, but this woman is trying to present herself as this radical person or whatever. But you understand the program that these people are involved. These people doing this to me are in a program that is raping women using this weaponry that can do things remotely. This is not just one woman here and there. You hear this is commonly said. They thought I was gonna like distance them from what they're part of. They're in a program that is literally torturing women sexually and destroying their life in so many ways. These people doing this to me. They thought I was going to let them live the fantasy. I know there's a lot of women being tortured by them. These people doing this to me. They're trying to come into find ways to escape what I'm saying, because what they've done to women in this coward way, in this doing this thing remotely, and then try to present themselves as this avengers that now it's your turn to. It's like, what? With all this horrible testimonials of all these women you guys torture? These people are delusional. Right now, as I'm saying these things, they try to disorient me, try to make me think of other things, try to go into, to counter the reality. That's the life they live in, where they're in a program that is currently raping, tormenting, torturing, destroying women's life all around the world. But somehow they want me to look at them as these people are avenging, protecting, for what I've done, knowing that I know all these people they've destroyed. It's not possible. They keep claiming they say somebody's name. I'm like, I can say hundreds of names that of people you guys are destroying and raping and torturing in every fashion. But they somehow want me to let them live these deluded ways, and they try to sound villain. Oh, they're gonna frame me, they're gonna rape you. It's like, really? Like this woman, like Kate Barnes. This is a woman who testimony says she's repeatedly raped. She said the government is doing these things where she's repeatedly raped and tormented. Some woman called Mary Fair said that they have this tactic of like when she's in bed raping her. Just testimony after testimony is disgusting. And they're like, oh, he does. Yes, he does. Because I'm also speaking. If you go on TI Day 2020, I've shown that. You see, and I'm in it, and I say that this has impacted men, women, and children all around the world. And then you see, in that video, you see a bunch of other women. Sorry, you see women. They want me to emasculate me, and I don't care about that. But you see a bunch of women saying that they've been tormented, tortured in this program. This is 2020. I always bring out that clip because they want to think that they're somewhere else. In another, no, this is what you guys do. All around this country, all around the world. And they try to play off, he's gonna infringe it. It's like, listen, they keep telling me how I'm gonna get raped and tortured to block out the reality that I know these people do these things to women. And so they tell me how I'm going to be cut, which, let me say this. When you expose people to that level, when you have people who wanted to live this fantasy of Avengers, of this femme fatale, like of women, that just radical group of women that is just severe, just using this technology to reimburse and avenge for the harm. In reality, they're in this program that's led by the government that's been experimenting on human beings, including from men, women, and children, infants. A lot of women are being tortured right now with their children. A lot of women being tortured sexually by them. But to add to the top, on top of that, they do these pedophilia things to you. Guess what? Finding out that these agencies, a lot of these agencies that are involved in this program are filled with pedophiles. What's going to happen when people were trying to create this facade and this level of exposure comes up? Matter of fact, there's even testimony of women saying there's a lot of women doing this V2K. Well, these people here try to play this guy like, haha, it's fate for what you've done. And like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's fate that this article in BuzzFeed comes out and exposes you guys for having a bunch of pedophiles at top of this intelligence community, which are in charge of this. Matter of fact, even in DARPA. So they try to change agency every time. It's fate that you see a bunch of women saying that what's happening to them while you try to play, it's fate, we're going to make you to avenge. Yeah, okay, avenge all these women you guys are here torturing and raping. It's fate, right? Oh, it's not fate for them. No, it's fate in the sense that you're not exposed for what you really are. While you try to vilify me and try to create your storylines and try to pretend like you're doing it for this woman that you will fry and torture the same way you've tortured all these women in this program. Of course, I'm not going to let you live your fantasy. And I refuse to let them even pretend that they're doing it for the person that they will destroy in a heartbeat the same way they've destroyed so many women. No. With the amount of distractions you've done to these women, no. You would destroy her, and they try to say like we're doing it for, like they don't care about this person. They would destroy everything that she has, just like they've done to all these women. So I'm not gonna let them speak. And they were like, "Oh, you did wrong to her." It's like, listen, this woman, you never speak for any of any woman doing what you do to women. You're insane. Can you imagine people who torture, rape, fry, radiate, destroy, gaslight, push women to the point of suicide, try to say, oh, what you did to this woman is wrong. You do not speak to her, because I know what you will do to this woman if she's put in this program, like so many other women in this program. Not gonna let you live that fantasy. There's nothing radical about you. You stick to the the line that was given to you. This program has empowered some frauds, and they want to live in this fantasy. Never. That's why every time you see the last video, you hear this woman repeatedly raped, children tortured, then mentally tortured, then psychologically tortured with these pedophilia ways of manipulations. Then she finds out, she's not the only one. There's so many others going through the same thing. So that gives her strength, just like me. And you want me to pretend that you're doing this for women that you don't even care about, that you come up with your version of things, or you pretending like you're doing it for her when you would destroy her? Never. No. The people who's going to tell me I did wrong to this woman or whoever should not be a group of people who is literally torturing women, raping them, tormenting them, killing them. No. Radiating them. No. For experimenting on them. No. I can't even let you live that fantasy, and I'm not going to let you live that femme fatale like facade that they want to create. They're like, oh, you're going to get raped. It's like, okay, I'll get raped like this woman you guys are torturing. God give me strength, but thank you for letting me see them for what they are. Trash that torture and are horrible to women. I can never let them live their fantasy. And then they were trying to and then they were trying to make me, like they want to create this facade, like, oh, they're gonna rape you, they're gonna do it. It's like, yes, you who torture children, who torture women in this cowardly, disgusting, disturbing, but using this sophisticated weapon, who's been embarrassed because as you're trying to create this facade, I'm putting videos like the last one you see, a woman testifying about her horrible experience. And you're here, and you're going to be raped. It's like, I'd rather get raped and be with these people who you torture and torment and die in this horrible way than live the life that you live and try to delude myself to be a program of revenge. No. They say, for example, this woman, I'm going to make another name. So let's just say Viva. Let's say Viva, what you did to Viva was wrong, whatever. Viva's like, first of all, you talk about Viva as if you want to torture her. I will never let you speak for Viva, knowing what you would do to Viva if she was in the program. I will never. Can you imagine people who's in the program that rapes women and torture? No. I remember earlier I said it before. They were trying to say, that was what you did to Viva was that. I was like, I was living back and forth. It's like, no, really? Like, did I do it wrong? Okay, but it's like, if it's wrong, then she will come from her. Who are you? And finding out the people who are talking to me are people doing these horrible things to women. So like, what? Never. How can I even let those people talk? What for? What about Stacey? What about Leslie? What about Mariana? What about Jackie? What about Mary Fair? What about Cassandra? What about Jackie? What about Kate Barnes? What about Kathleen Nestor? What about Amanda Miller? What about Wendy Brown? What about, like, the list goes on. It's like, you disillusional. You think I'm going to let you speak for Viva? She'll be one of these people if she was put in the program. So you think I'm going to let you live your fantasy? Never. I just pray that she will never be put in this program and be destroyed by you guys, by bottom feeders that works for the government, that rape people and that do horrible things and then try to make themselves be feminists and radical people, delusional people. I'll never. With that much blood of these women and torment you have, never. Don't even say this name. Don't even say Viva's name because you're going to curse her with your nastiness that you've done to people. Never. So I bring that back all the time. Yes, you're going to torture me, you're going to do that. That's the norm. That's the things. But I understand this norm has been applied to women. Now they're like, oh, for you, we're going to do the old school way. Oh, so those women, you're going to do the new school ways, which consist of like all kind of torture. By the way, the new school ways can do so much more, by the way, with very little. Meaning the direct energy, the electronic, technology, sophisticated weapon can do things. They can stretch you out. They can do horrible things to your organs, to your genitals. I mean, I feel like my bones, nobody's been around me. My bones is moving around like my elbow. It looks different. Nobody has touched me, like nobody has done anything to me. This is a new school way. So you understand this new school, this technology can do so much sexually to torment you, to hurt you. They can, like, there are horrible things they can do. It's like, oh, by you, it's going to be the old-fashioned way. It's like, okay. I know what you guys do to women with the new fashion ways. So I understand it's going to be horrible. And they're like, oh, you'll see. It's like, yes, I'll see some horrible things. But before this happens to me, I will not let you escape in your reality, escape in your fantasies, where you think that you're this radical bad. They can't even say Roy Moore. They want to be like, no, for me, every time they do these things and try to go into the fantasy world, I'll bring up all the testimonies of the people they torture. All the women specifically. All the women in this country. So they try to come up with their ways of, no. You see, that's why that person you see in the last video, it's just a projection of what kind of people they are. They in their mind, and I've seen this person right next to me, just blocking out reality, spacing out. As I'm listening to testimony, I'm looking at her, of this woman being tortured in so many ways. Discharges, yeast, you can't even use the restroom, can't even walk, because she's tortured so much. And I'm looking at her, she's just looking, she's escaping somewhere, she's going somewhere, disappearing, blocking out, in front of me. Do you see that? That's escaping reality. Going away. You look at them. You see, you listen to the horrible things. You look at these people. One woman's like, I don't care. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's my point. That's my point. There was this woman with children. She was saying, I don't care, because this woman was talking about how they torture children. I was like, I was looking at her. I was like, I know. Because you're a fraud. You said it properly. You don't care, and I understand, because these people are just a facade. You are here torturing, frying, even kids. And you are here, remember what you did as a kid. When they are here suffocating, torturing children. It's like, I don't care. This is the reality of these people. They want to enjoy this opportunity to be godlike people. But reality, they don't care about these subjects, including even children. They will torture kids as long as they'll block out the fact that these people are human, that the target individual are human, and do horrible things to them, including children and women. And they pretend that, they're human. Trash. And then at the end, I went back to bed. They started making me having some dreams with children. Now, they was not sexual dreams, but what they do in my dreams, they make me have stimulations within the dreams. I wake up with a stimulation of all sorts toward little kids, black little kids. I don't know if it was black girls, but they were doing these stimulations. In my dreams, I wake up feeling stimulations. They condition you to have these things like, and they play with your libido, to have sexual stimulations in your dreams. The dreams was not sexual, but it was like dreams. You see a little kid running, as they try to do something with my lips, and then they'll give me a stimulation or something like that. In my dreams, to train my brain like that, condition. And they say, no, that's you. Imagine what I say. Listen, this is what they do. And they try to find ways to try to make you, gaslight you into not accepting this, into not believing, to be doubtful of this, as if doubtful that they're not doing this. Of course they're doing this. It's been done since August 19, 2019. I've seen many videos about it. That's what they do. Then they try to find things to try to make you doubtful. Because, sometimes they do things, I'm not sure if they're doing it, or if they, like when it comes to my phone, sometimes I see little things here. It's like, is that them, or it's just like my is that just the app doing like that? Because I don't know. It's like, okay, right. There's things I'm unsure of. I was like, I know they have control of my phones and everything else, but I don't know to what extent or when they're just showing off or what, so I'm like, is that just, is that them doing something, or is just something there? Okay, it's nothing. Usually I will never notice what they do. And so they say, you see, you thought it was us. I was like, listen, these things that's happening to my phones and my devices, I can only speculate. I don't know if it's, unless they do something that is so obvious. Sometimes if they do things that are super obvious for me to recognize. But usually it's like, I don't know, whatever. But what they're consistently doing without missing out a moment is just a manipulation of my mind. This is going to be nonstop. Dreams with pedophilia, manipulations, all kind of nasty. It's just nonstop. And try to gaslight you. No, the idea does. Yes, you guys do this. It's what this technology does. It manipulates your brain in disgusting ways. It conditions your brain in disgusting ways, in pedophilia ways. This has been done to many others, not just me. And so you're gonna try to make me subscribe to these things, and I will never. And the reason why I continue to talk is because there'll be a time when I won't be able to. So when my brain becomes more and more illogical, more and more on the spectrum side, I remember that at least there'll be something of me saying what was truly happening, as they try to make me accept these disturbing things as if it's me, when I know it's them manipulating me and conditioning my brain this way. So when the time comes where all this torture they tell me about is going to happen, I'll be okay. I said what I needed to say. Let's go. And let that come back the way it needs to come back to them. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.